Warriors, let me ask you something. When your sword is laid to rest, when your voice is but an echo in the hearts of those you leave behind, what will they remember of you? Will they speak of a warrior who fought for themselves? Or will they remember a servant who fought for something greater, who left behind a legacy of faith, courage and righteousness that rippled through generations? I've walked the battlefield long enough to know this truth. Every strike of the sword, every choice, every word, every act, it all leaves a mark. The question is not whether you will leave a legacy, but what kind of legacy it will be. Will it inspire others to rise in faith, or will it fade into nothing, forgotten as the wind carries it away? The scriptures declare the righteous will be remembered forever. Psalm 112:6. Do you hear that, warriors? A life lived in righteousness leaves an eternal impact. It's not wealth, not power, not titles that endure. It's faithfulness to God, integrity in your actions, and love that echoes long after you've gone. A legacy is not built in a single moment of glory. It is built brick by brick, decision by decision over a lifetime. It's how you treat the ones under your care, how you stand firm in trials, and how you reflect the light of Christ in a world consumed by darkness. A true legacy points not to you, but to the King, who gave you the strength to fight the good fight. Think of David. His victories on the battlefield were great, but his greatest legacy was his heart. A man after God's own heart. 1 Samuel 13:14. Think of Paul, who wrote letters that continue to inspire warriors like us today, long after his earthly battle ended. And think of Jesus, whose life, death, and resurrection left a legacy so powerful that it transformed the course of history itself. These are not just stories, they are examples of what it means to leave an eternal impact. A legacy worth leaving is not built on selfish ambition, but on sacrificial love. Jesus himself said, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." John 15:13. Warriors, the world will tell you to fight for yourself, to seek your own gain. But the word of God calls us to fight for others, to give of ourselves so that the next generation may stand stronger. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. When your time is done, when the battle is over, who will tell your story? Will your children say they stood firm in their faith? Will your friends say they were a light in the darkest times? Will those who knew you say, because of them, I know God more deeply? This is the legacy that matters, a legacy that points to Christ, that lifts others up, and that glorifies the one who deserves all praise. Warriors, you don't need to wait for some grand moment to begin building your legacy. It starts today. It starts with the way you treat others, the way you fight against sin, the way you speak truth, even when it costs you. Every small act of faithfulness is a brick in the foundation of a legacy that will stand the test of time. And remember this, you do not build your legacy alone. God himself is the architect. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Psalm 127:1. Surrender your life to him and let him use you as a vessel for his glory. With him as your guide, your legacy will be unshakable, eternal, and far greater than anything you could build on your own. So I charge you, warriors, fight not just for the victories of today, but for the future of those who will come after you. Let your life be a testament to faith, courage, and righteousness. Build a legacy that will not fade, one that will echo in eternity, for the righteous will indeed be remembered forever.